Hey, I'm Kami McBride, and I'm here at Mountain Rose Herbs, and I'm working out of my book, The Herbal Kitchen, and I have an entire chapter on cordials, and today I want to make a cordial for you, and it's called 3-seed cordials. And again, I have an entire chapter on cordials. Cordials are such an incredible thing to have in your life. They can support you in so many different ways, and especially with digestion. And this cordial is one of those incredible digestive supporting cordials that you can just drink a little bit. This isn't something like you sit around and drink like wine, right? This is like you take like a half an ounce after your meal. And that's how cordials are traditionally taken, like a half an ounce before your meal or after your meal. Okay, so this cordial has fennel seed, coriander, and celery seed in it. And we're going to be using brandy to extract, to infuse the constituents of the herbs into. We're going to be using 1 cup of brandy, 3 tablespoons of fennel seed, 2 tablespoons of coriander, and 1 teaspoon of celery seed. And then we're going to put it all together, we're going to strain it out, and then we're going to add honey to add a little bit of sweetness so you like it. And the honey, I'm going to add half a cup of honey, but you can just add the honey that works for you as far as sweetness, okay? Some people don't put honey at all. I like it a little bit sweet. So let's get started. Okay, so we've got our fennel seed, and what we're going to do is we're going to just kind of grind things up a little bit in the mortar and pestle first. So we're doing, again, this 3 tablespoons of fennel, and fennel is so supportive for normal digestion. Really helps with gas, bloating, helps you to digest fat. And so we're going to get the fennel seed ground up, and we'll get it into our jar here. Okay, and then we're going to put in 2 teaspoons of coriander. And coriander, again, is just another one of these amazing digestive supporting herbs. This is really good for potlucks or feasts. You know, when you've just eaten too much food or you've eaten too many different kinds of food, you want to get a little help with your digestion. And coriander is great for that. It helps you to digest your food. It helps to, or you know how sometimes you eat something and you're just like, I don't think those beans were quite cooked enough, or it just doesn't feel quite right. Coriander will help settle that. Okay, so we've got our 2, that smells so good. Oh, I love that smell. The interesting thing about coriander is that it's one of those spices that it can go sweet or savory. You know how some spices are like, rosemary is for savory, right? Coriander you can use with savory foods or sweet foods. So that's one of the reasons why it's one of the most used spices in my kitchen, actually. And then a teaspoon of celery seed. And celery seed is slightly cooling, helps to cool down a hot digestion. You know, if you're really, you know, sometimes after you eat too much, you get like kind of bloated maybe, or certain foods will have your pulse just pounding, and you can feel the heat of your digestion working. Celery seed helps calm that. So there, got our celery seed. And again, I smell everything all the time. Our body is always learning, even though you think, oh yeah, I've smelled celery seed 1,000 times. Smell it again. Every time you smell that, those oils get into your bloodstream and they change who you are. They affect your chemistry. And so smelling the medicine that you work with is part of the herbalism. Then we're going to be a cordial. We're going to be extracting, infusing. We're going to take a cup of brandy, and this is a pint, so it's 2 cups. And so a lot of times I don't measure things in measuring cups if I can use the jar, you know. So because every time you measure, you lose a little bit. So this is about a cup. So got our brandy, and we can put our lid on. And so what we're doing is we're infusing these spices into the brandy. And we're going to shake it, and then we're going to store it in a cabinet or a pantry, someplace cool, dark place, and we're going to shake it every couple days, and we let it sit for a month. I want to actually just show you how to decant it right now so that you know how to do that, okay? So let's just imagine that's sit for a month. And then what you would do is you'd get your jar and you get your funnel, and you've got some cotton muslin here. So cotton, I love straining things out with cotton muslin, much more than like cheesecloth. Cotton muslin, it's a tight weave and it's thin. There's lots of tightly woven fabric that's thick that will just soak up your cordial. This is tightly woven and thin, and it's one of the best decanting fabrics that I know of. So, ready? So what you do is you just pour it through the muslin. Okay, that was pretty simple, right? It just came right through. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to squeeze it, right? And get everything out. Okay, good. There. Then you can just set this aside. Then what you want to do is get a pretty jar to dispense it in. And this cordial is really nice to drink after dinner, after a heavy meal, after a celebration, potluck. And you put it in a pretty jar and people are like, what's that? Okay, then we're gonna add our honey. And honey is one of those things that I don't measure in anything because it's like gold to me and I don't wanna lose a single drop. So I eyeball my honey. It's about, and the honey is totally to taste. You know, you can add a little bit and then taste it and see if you like it, add a little bit more. But you do want to shake it so that you get the honey all mixed in there. And then you get these are a little bit bigger than cordial glasses. And again, cordial is traditionally about 1/2 ounce after a meal. And it just helps you with your digestion, whatever you've eaten. And you know, we know that in every medicine system that I know of, from Chinese medicine, traditional Ayurveda, Western clinical medicine, and even Western medicine, they talk about when you're not feeling well, like when you're catching a cold or a flu, or you just kind of don't feel that well, to eat lightly, to eat soup, right? Why do they tell us that? Why do they tell us to eat soup? Because soup is easy to digest, and when you eat something that's easy to digest and easy to eliminate, it frees up all the energy that normally goes toward digestion. Digestion takes a lot of work, and so when you free up that energy, then your body can focus on whatever's happening if you're starting to catch a cold. So if we know that supporting our digestion helps us when we don't feel well, why not get help supporting digestion with every meal? And that's the gift of the herbs. These carminative, that's the gift. That's why I wrote the Herbal Kitchen, is to help people realize that at every single meal you can layer in herbs to help give you more energy by supporting your digestion. And so that's what this cordial does, is it gives you just that. And so I'm not saying drink cordial at every meal, but let the herbs gift that to you, that digestive support. And this is just one way to do that. So here you have your 3-seed cordial, and enjoy.